What happens when you take 18 players from the Super Mario universe, stick them on the islands of Fiji, and force them to play Survivor? That is the exact question we will answer today on the debut episode of Survivor Simmed. My name is Tony Squares, and on this channel we treat Survivor like it's the fifth major American sport, and we're also a bunch of nerds, so this question fit us perfectly. Now, as to how we answered it. I used a Brant Steele to simulate the entire season, gave each player their unique set of attributes and relationships, then randomly split them into 3 separate tribes. The first tribe is Moo Moo Farm, and it perfectly has both Mario and Luigi, Yoshi and Toad, as well as Boo and Koopa Troopa. The second tribe is frankly a hodgepodge, but it does star my favorite player, Fox McCloud, as well as Waluigi and Toadette, Diddy Kong and Rosalina, hoping to get more screen time in this one than in Super Mario Galaxy, and then lastly Princess Daisy, which leaves us with Tribe Sherbetland, which might as well be called Bowser's Castle. There's Bowser, Bowser Jr., Wario, Shy Guy, Donkey Kong, and all alone, Princess Peach. I also may have added some pre-game alliances. There's the Good Guys Alliance, the Bad Guys Alliance, the Mario Brothers because family runs deep, and the most important alliance, the Love Alliance, where Mario has an unbreakable bond to Princess Peach, and Peach is like kinda into it, I think. What follows in this video is an episode-by-episode recap of the entire simulation. It is a tale of intrigue, betrayal, love, and heartbreak. It ends in a final 3 that none of you will be able to predict, and leaves us with a very deserving, dare I say, historic victor. So without any further ado, let's answer the question: who wins Super Mario Survivor? Here we go! We start off with the Marooning Challenge. In order for the tribes to win their supplies, they must complete this obstacle course and only the first one wins. And of course, the most strategic tribe comes out on top as Fox McCloud and Donkey Kong lead their team to success. But that means the other 2 tribes must choose a representative to go mano-a-mano for the remaining flint. Moo Moo Farm surprisingly chooses Boo, and Bowser, looking to impress Princess Peach, decides to take it upon himself. But you see, Bowser's an idiot, and because this tribe involved a puzzle, Boo surprisingly comes out on top, and Bowser goes home with nothing in his hands. Hands? Paws? Talons? Returning to camp, Wario pulls Bowser aside and says, "Hey, listen, man, Princess Peach batting her pretty eyelashes at you doesn't have you thinking straight." Bowser erupts in flames over this, and this divisive argument leads to the Bad Guys Alliance dissolving in half a day. I'm not joking. Meanwhile, on his way to fetch some water, Toad finds the Moo Moo Farm Beware advantage, meaning he has a clue to the immunity idol. But there's a catch. He can only open this clue if his tribe loses an immunity challenge and must find that idol before final tribal or he will lose his vote. Time to go to the immunity challenge where the tribes must get a large snake through an obstacle course. We all love this one, and so does Choco Mountain because they win again. Bowser and Bowser Jr. kinda cheat because they burn through the rope in the obstacle course and they too win, which means Moo Moo Farm loses as the Mario Brothers can't pick up the slack of Toad, who is an absolute nothing burger when it comes to challenges, and these guys must go to tribal and vote someone out. Now it seems pretty easy. Boo and Koopa Troopa are kinda on the outs here, but Toad can't convert his Beware advantage into an immunity idol and loses his vote. Upon learning this, and after watching Toad puke all over himself during the challenge, Yoshi thinks the tribe should vote out Toad. But as he brings it up to the Mario Brothers, they disagree, and Yoshi decides to leave the Good Guys Alliance. And if I know one thing about Survivor, if you play too hard, too fast, it comes back to bite you, as Yoshi is the first person voted out of Super Mario Survivor. Important to note, while Koopa Troopa and Boo jumped on the Yoshi vote, Luigi stood tall and voted Toad, believing that he was a challenge liability, and I wonder, will that affect the Mario Brothers tandem in the future? Yoshi's vote out has some big ramifications for the other tribes, as Donkey Kong decides to leave the Good Guys Alliance on principle alone, and Peach sees the Good Guys as a sinking ship and she dips out too. And Boo and Koopa Troopa start plotting on how they can get in between the Mario Brothers 3-way. Pause. But we start off with a journey, as each tribe chooses one player to compete by throwing a bunch of coconuts into a net, and the first one who falls wins. The 3 players: Diddy Kong, Princess Peach, and Koopa Troopa. And Diddy Kong wins, which means he has a decision to make, choosing one of the other 2 to not have a vote and instead give that extra vote to Diddy, and he chooses to take away Koopa Troopa's vote. Fast forward to the immunity challenge where, surprise, surprise, it's another obstacle course that ends in a puzzle, and surprise, surprise, Tribe Choco Mountain wins again. But more importantly, Moo Moo Farm gets up off the mat as the Mario Brothers survive this challenge somehow because Tribe Sherbet Land can't stop arguing with each other and they must go and vote someone out. Now, Princess Peach could be in trouble here, but luckily enough, she finds the Beware advantage, and unlike Toad, it leads her to the first immunity idol this season has seen. And the other guys, well, they just start throwing rocks at each other. Literally, everyone has a meltdown, everyone has a fight, and we have no idea where this vote is going. Now, because there's no telling where this vote will go, both Donkey Kong and Wario play their shot in the dark, meaning they have a 1 in 6 chance of being safe and having no votes cast against them. Jeff Probst opens up the scroll, and we see that both of them are not safe. Both Donkey Kong and Wario do get a vote, but the deciding vote goes to Bowser, who's still pissed off, and Wario becomes the second player voted out of Super Mario's Survivor. Starting off episode 3, we haven't seen a lot of Tribe Choco Mountain because they're winning everything, but everyone's hunky-dory. Nobody's fighting with each other, and Fox McCloud, sipping his coffee, finds a Beware advantage, which means he could get a clue to the hidden immunity idol if they ever lose a challenge. And on Moo Moo Farm, Boo knows he's on the bottom, but considering he's a ghost, he decides to go look for the immunity idol at night, and he finds it. Can he save himself as this tribe continues? Because at this immunity challenge in particular, Toad cannot get over the balance beam on the water, and Moo Moo Farm loses again. With Koopa Troopa not having a vote and Boo seen as a little bit dangerous, the Mario Brothers and Toad just need to decide who they're taking out. After the votes have been cast, Jeff asks would anyone like to play an advantage, and Boo floats on up there, playing his shot in the dark. And it works. All votes cast against Boo will not count. But before Boo can sit back down, he decides to play his immunity idol on his brother Koopa Troopa. Boo does not count. Koopa Troopa does not count. Boo didn't cast a vote. Koopa Troopa doesn't have a vote, and so we have a 0-vote tie, which means this trifecta needs to decide which one of the three is going home. Toad votes for Luigi. Luigi votes for Toad, and that means Mario must decide, is it brother or best friend? And the third person voted out of Super Mario Survivor is the challenge liability Toad. After this harrowing vote, the Mario Brothers have a huge fight, which leads to the Mario Brothers dissolving. And it also means the once 8-strong Good Guys Alliance is no more. Episode 4 opens with a montage of Waluigi fighting with absolutely everyone on his tribe because Waluigi stinks. But it doesn't matter because Choco Mountain once again wins an immunity challenge, this time blind leading the blind, and wouldn't you know it, Team Sherbet Land can't communicate to save their lives and lose another immunity challenge set to go to Tribal Council, but Bowser decides to set their whole camp ablaze. And whether it was disappointment, him potentially going home, or Peach not returning his phone calls, Bowser decides to quit the game. To lighten up the mood, Jeff Probst walks into camp and says, everyone drop your buffs, we're going down to 2 tribes. The new Choco Mountain consists of Mario and Luigi, Waluigi and Peach, Donkey Kong, Shy Guy, and Koopa Troopa. And the new Sherbet Land tribe with Boo and Bowser Jr., Fox and Toadette, Daisy and Rosalina, and Diddy Kong. Very quickly, the social game is on play with these tribes as a new alliance is formed between Boo, Rosalina, Star Fox, and Daisy. But Bowser Jr. decides to be another Purple Kelly, and episode 4 ends with another person quitting Super Mario Survivor.
So long, Bowser!
Episode 5 starts with strategic mastermind Boo deciding one alliance isn't enough, and he starts another one with Rosalina, Toadette, and Diddy Kong. Elsewhere on the beach, Fox and Daisy make a pact, and a new ride-or-die duo is born. And during what is the hottest day temperature-wise of the season, the 2 tribes are said to have an immunity challenge on the beach, with an obstacle course ending with stacking blocks as high as they can go. Mario is electric during this challenge, leading his tribe to victory almost single-handedly, but that means this Boo multi-alliance tribe is going to see where the lines are drawn. And since this is the first time he's lost an immunity challenge, Fox finally has a chance to find that hidden immunity idol, and oh, he does. The Fox-Daisy alliance wants to vote out Toadette, thinking she's a challenge liability. The Toadette-Diddy side is scared of Daisy. They think she is a strong all-around player, and yet we never get to see which alliance Alliance wins out because as we're heading to Final Tribal, Toadette collapses from heat exhaustion and has to be medically evac'd from the game. Now, I'm happy to say that at the time of recording, Toadette has fully recovered from the injuries sustained while filming Super Mario Survivor. Both myself and the entire production crew are extremely happy with her recovery process. Just wanted to assuage anyone's worries if they were watching this. Now, back to the game.
Press start to play.
Drop your buffs, we're getting back into 3 tribes of 4. Choco Mountain is Fox, Rosalina, Shy Guy, and Waluigi. Moo Moo Farms consists of Boo, Daisy, Diddy Kong, and regular Luigi. And Sherbet Land has Mario, His Love, Peach, Donkey Kong, and Koopa Troopa. Many advantages are found this episode as Waluigi, as he's exploring Choco Mountain, finds the knowledge is power advantage, meaning he can ask anyone before Tribal if they have an advantage, and they must give it to Waluigi. Luigi finds an idle nullifier, meaning before the votes he can write down a name and stop anyone from using an immunity idol during that vote. And while no advantage is found, Peach is surprisingly making goo-goo eyes at Koopa Troopa. Now that she's lost Bowser, could she be trying to woo Koopa Troopa onto her side? The immunity challenge this episode is an obstacle course that ends with a ball maze puzzle, and Waluigi tells his tribe this is my specialty, but he cannot get it done as stress overwhelms him and Choco Mountain loses the challenge. Now, Shy Guy and Waluigi do not like each other and are trying to get Fox and Rosalina to vote the other one out. But Waluigi feels unsafe and plays his knowledge as power and steals Fox McCloud's idol. Of course, Waluigi's going to play that right away, and thank goodness he does because he blocks both votes heading his way. And that means Shy Guy, with just 1 vote cast against him, is going home. And we have made the merge.
Here we go!
11 players remain and they all meet on Rainbow Road for the race to the finish. Let's update those alliances. Of course, Mario and Peach are in the Love Alliance, but Rosalina is a part of 2, one with Fox and Daisy, the other with Boo and Diddy Kong. Speaking of Diddy Kong, he still has his extra vote, Luigi has an idol nullifier, and Peach still has immunity idol she found on day 1. And for the first individual immunity challenge, the 11 players are split into 2 teams of 5, and whoever wins individual immunity means all 5 of those players are safe. Now, nobody chooses Waluigi because everyone hates him. And the challenge involves a lot of dexterity as they must not only balance a ball, but themselves on a beam. And that dexterity award goes to Daisy as she wins the first individual immunity and saves all 5 of her team members. Now again, everyone hates Waluigi and this seems like an easy vote. But Diddy Kong, for whatever reason, decides to burn his extra vote in the process. And Waluigi goes home 11-1. But Boo can't get over Diddy's stupidity and decides to dissolve this alliance altogether. Before we continue, considering Super Mario Survivor is a family show, I wanted to issue a word of warning to our younger audience members. For the next few episodes, deal with some mature situations. Good luck.
Thank you, Mario. We have to do something special for you.
Now, Star Fox finds his second immunity idol, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Remember when I said Peach was making googly eyes at Koopa Troopa? Well, Princess Peach goes up to Mario and says, "What do you think about inviting a 3rd person into the bedroom?" And the Love Alliance becomes a 3-way. And because Jeff Probst has run out of ideas, these 10 players are split once again into 2 teams of 5, and the one person who wins individual immunity saves all 5 of their teammates. And once again, in a challenge that involves dexterity, Daisy wins her 2nd straight individual immunity. And everyone is kind of taken aback at the open PDA the Love Alliance is showing, so when the Love Alliance wants to vote out Diddy Kong, they're just gonna go along with it. And Diddy Kong, with no friends left on the island, becomes the 2nd member of our jury. But it's a double elimination episode, and we have another immunity challenge, and this one involves some teamwork, so you know who's gonna win it. The Mario brothers getting back together for one more go-around. And this time, the Love Alliance is directing their sights on Challenge Beast Daisy. Meanwhile, the Daisy Alliance is trying to take out some goats as we get closer to the end. And Fox decides there's power in numbers and plays his immunity idol not for himself, but for Daisy. And he blocks 5 votes coming against her, and instead, Donkey Kong follows Diddy Kong on the way to the jury.
Game over.
Episode 9 opens up with trouble in paradise as Mario walks in on Koopa Troopa and Peach going at it without him, and it doesn't go well. Mario confides in Fox McCloud, not knowing what to do. Fox calls Mario an idiot for letting his girl get boinked by Koopa Troopa, but Mario says, please, Fox, go talk to her, help me out. And so Fox does. And Fox decides what's good for Koopa is good for me, as he, Peach, and Daisy start playing doctor. But it's looking great for Team Love, as this individual immunity is all about balance, and even though Daisy is great, Peach steals a victory. The Love Alliance still wants to get out Daisy, but this newfound Fox and friends is trying to pick off as many goats as they can, and today it's Luigi. Daisy's not convinced, however. She still has a close place in her heart and decides to play her extra vote. And Luigi decides to play his shot in the dark, and he is not safe. The first 3 votes go 3 different ways, with Daisy, Luigi, and Koopa Troopa each catching a stray. The next 3 votes go 3 different ways, and every one of them have 2 votes apiece. But the final 2 votes land on Mario's brother, and Luigi waddles his way to the jury. Koopa and Mario put their differences aside and voted with love to get Daisy out, but Peach decided to get in bed with Fox. And even though her head was on the chopping block, Daisy held true and couldn't write Luigi's name down.
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
There are 7 players left as we sprint towards the finish here, and they're surprised when a boat hits the beach, saying one of them must go on a journey. None of them want to because of the target it will put on their back, and sadly Boo is the one that draws the black rock and must get on the boat. In a sea of 2,000 coconuts, Boo must find the one with a phoenix marked on it, but because he is a ghost, he cannot physically flip over these coconuts, and so he fails and loses his vote. Back on Rainbow Road, Fox McCloud is up early after sneaking out of Peach's tent and stumbles upon the 3rd immunity idol he has found this season. But it proves to be semi-unnecessary, as today's immunity challenge is stacking blocks 1 by 1, and because of his ultimate precision, Fox McCloud wins his first individual immunity. And of course he's taken Daisy and Peach for the spaghetti reward. Fox is a ladies' man. Koopa Troopa and Mario are talking Peach's ear off that they need to get Daisy out right now. But they're the only 2 that vote for Daisy. And everyone else is worried about Boo, so they throw all votes on him. And Peach once again votes against love. 6 players are left, and because Survivor wants to belabor the point, we have another reward challenge where Fox lands the sandbag on top of the high perch before anyone else. And once again, he's taken Daisy and Peach out for margaritas. This guy's a player. But for the challenge that truly matters, for if you win this immunity, you're guaranteed a spot in the final, these players need to compete in one that involves both balance and fortitude. And with all 3 of Fox, Mario, and Daisy breaking the Survivor record for time spent in this challenge, the final victor is Princess Daisy, winning her 3rd individual immunity. The Love Alliance can't get Daisy, so Peach finally sees the light and says maybe it's time to get Fox out. Meanwhile, the Fox Alliance wants to take out one of the Love members, and Fox is worried, wants to keep his idol for Final 5, but decides to play it right then and there. And thank goodness he does, for 3 votes are blocked. And while the Fox Alliance splits between Mario and Koopa, the last person to not make the finale is the big swinging dick of Koopa Troopa. In the Super Mario Survivor finale, there are alliances all over the place, which is why it is super important that Fox McCloud finds his 4th immunity idol, an unbelievable run by Fox, and it should be noted that Princess Peach still has her immunity idol from day 1, and these idols must be used at this upcoming tribal. The second to last immunity challenge is a very simple puzzle, but it's very hard to master, and it could be anyone's game, but surprisingly, Princess Peach comes out the victor. She also has a reward, a steak dinner, and decides to take her true love Mario, where she tells him the plan of what she's going to do with that immunity idol. And this makes Mario have a major meltdown, because Princess Peach plays that immunity idol on Fox McCloud. Fox McCloud plays his immunity idol on Daisy. And the 5th person going home, the last person voted out before fire making in Super Mario Survivor, is none other than Super Mario himself, voted out at the hands of his love, who chose Fox over him. The final immunity challenge that guarantees you a spot at Final Tribal is a grand obstacle course, and while everyone but Rosalina has won an immunity so far, of course we know who's going to win this. It's Princess Daisy, tying the record for most immunity challenges won by a female in a single season of Survivor. Now, even though she's a tag team with Fox, she doesn't want to sit next to him, so she chooses Rosalina to take with her to Final Tribal. Mostly because I haven't said Rosalina's name in this entire video. She's done next to nothing. But that means Princess Peach will have a race making fire to see who gets that final seat. And Princess Peach comes out the victory. Goodbye, Fox McCloud. You had one heck of a run. But that means we have an all-female Final Tribal and an all-male jury. At least whatever Boo is. And at Final Tribal, Rosalina says she was everybody's friend. Her name was never written down. Her name was never on anybody's lips. Daisy says she had her name written down more than anybody, yes, but she had her back against the wall this entire time and you could never get her out. And Princess Peach, with a tear in her eye, says she did what she had to do to get by, whether it was getting in bed with Mario, Koopa, Troopa, Fox, or the rest. She too never had her name written down. And even though she started off on a tribe with all the evildoers in the Mario universe, she survived to right here, right now. And so who wins Super Mario Survivor? Boo appreciates the cutthroat strategic game and votes for Peach. Diddy Kong is mad he wasn't invited into the threesome, so he votes Rosalina out of spite. And of course, Fox is going to stick by his ride or die and votes for Daisy. That's one vote for everybody. Donkey Kong understands Peach's struggle. He's the only remaining member from her original tribe that made the jury, so he throws his vote Peach's way. Waluigi respects himself a challenge beast and he throws his vote for Daisy. But Koopa Troopa feels betrayed. He feels played, and while he can't vote for his rival Daisy, he'll throw a vote on Rosalina, and it's 2 votes for everybody. Luigi steps up with an angry stare and spits at Peach. How could you do this to my brother? Act this way on national TV. I remember that Daisy never wrote my name down, and so she should win. That's 3 votes Daisy, 2 votes Peach, 2 votes Rosalina, and Mario remaining. If he votes for Peach, his true love, he can force a tie and give her a chance to win this game. And so Mario votes for Daisy. Turns out you can only push a man so far. And congratulations to Princess Daisy for winning the first ever episode of Survivor Simmed, outlasting 17 other combatants, from Fox's major idol moves to Peach doing whatever Peach did to everyone else on that island, to Rosalina being everyone's best friend. Daisy had quite the hill to climb, and boy did she do it. But that wraps up today's episode, and if you enjoyed it, leave us a like, leave us a subscribe, help this channel grow. My name is Tony Squares, and we shall see you next time on Survivor Simmed.